everybody. Welcome back to Suspenders Unbuttoned Podcast. I am Sarah.
And I'm Julie, and we're excited to welcome a writer's roundtable with Julie Sherman Wolfe, Nina Weinman, and Tracy Andreen. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
We're excited to have you.
So fun. Been in the works for a while, so we're excited to finally have you all here together. Lots of people know that you are writers, and you write lots of our Hallmark movies and our favorite ones. So tell everybody, let's start with how did you all meet each other and become such friends?
Become the little trio that we've become.
Yes.
We met, I can't remember the year, Julie, you'll have to remind me, but we were at a TCA, at a Hallmark TCA, and I think it was 2017.
Okay.
And it was one of these big extravagant Hallmark affairs where they do for the Television Critics Association, and they bring in, actors, producers, writers, directors. And there's a woman named Liz Yost who was an executive there, and she was an exec on this project that I was doing that kind of got me pulled into the TCA, to the Hallmark of it all. And she's good friends with Julie. And she basically was like, oh, you two should meet each other. And we were like, hi. And then kind of like, man. And then the next thing I know, we kind of started talking a little bit. And then we sat down at the table. We moved we did one of those things like at a wedding where you move the cards.
Well, so we were sitting across, we were nowhere near each other.
We totally pulled one of those moves.
And then I didn't like my table mates, so I just moved to your table.
Yeah, and so we ended up sitting next to each other, and within probably about, 10, 15 minutes of the whole thing, we were like fist bumping, high-fiving. It's like we've known each other our entire lives. And she keeps saying through this whole thing, and I'm thinking, oh my God, because it's hard to make friends as an adult, right? Especially when you have a job that leaves you completely isolated.
Right.
And so I'm like, I'm making an adult friend, and this is fantastic. And she's like, yeah, my family's moving to Connecticut in 6 weeks. And I was like, oh, I finally made a friend. You've got to meet Nina. And I'd heard about Nina, just sort of in the context of, oh, Hallmark writers, this and that sort of thing. I'd heard about Nina, and I'd heard about Julie too. So I was like, yeah, we've got to meet Nina. And then one day, did we meet at the next one?
I think it was,
Nina,
Julie,
the year before that. I believe I had met Julie the year before that. And also at a TCA. Possibly. And we all knew about each other because we have this thing where we go, who wrote that movie? Who was it? And then we all knew about each other. But I also was close with Liz Yost, and so was Julie. So it was like, oh, we have to meet. And then we met. I don't know if anybody introduced us or if we just met, and we were like, oh my gosh, you're Julie, you're Nina. It was like that. And we just instantly were just like, and I remember saying, like, we have to go have lunch. We have to continue this. We have to go have lunch. And she's like, I'm gonna be moving to Connecticut. Like, I want to say it was like 10 days. I mean, it was something like our stories are sort of similar. So it must have been.
Yeah, it was like,
or I don't know.
I don't know if it's the same. It's all jumbled up now because, It was
but I remember that.
We moved 8 years. We moved 8 years ago yesterday.
So we couldn't go to lunch.
We all basically wanted to meet Julie. That's what it was.
Everybody I remember sending. We were.
No, I mean we all knew each other. Like that, we were all like. Yeah. I was a fan of their writing, and like.
Yeah, we all know of everybody.
For whatever reason.
Yeah.
No. But we just knew about each other, and like just that we were all kind of written to the same-ish amount of movies at that point, and we were kind of writing the same. We were sort of on the same track,
right?
And the best part about us, I think, is that we're not we are the opposite of competitive. Like it is the absolute opposite. We are always lifting each other up, and helping each other get off the side of the cliff, and we're always just sort of like right there. And very few people in the world know the exact life that we live and what we go through and all the things that happen on a day-to-day basis. So I honestly think without the two of them, I don't know if I would have survived at this long in the entire industry. Like, it's such a blessing to have friends like this.
Yeah, you would think that you're in the same exact line of work, really, and that it could be very competitive. So what is it?
Yeah.
Like, did you know right away, like, okay, this is not going to be a competition with these ladies. We're going to develop a friendship, or did it happen more naturally?
I think just by the nature of our personalities. I think by the nature of our personalities, we're not competitive.
Yeah, stop moving.
But we also, I'll get a call for a rewrite and I'll say, I'm not available, but Julie is. Or Tracy had a project that she's like, oh, this one's for Nina. And, you know, we throw each other work all the time when, if I get a call, if Julie gets a call, whatever. So we're each other's colleagues, not competition.
Yeah. And even the rare times that we've been up, possibly for the same thing, it literally, and with no, I'm completely serious. It was the same. It's like, if I don't get it, I really hope it's you. Like, truly, like, if it's not us, let it be one of the other two. Like, that's just, if you saw our text thread, this is an 8-year constant stream of consciousness.
Yeah, it is. And it's nice that, because as I think one of you said, and we have certainly said it a bajillion times, nobody understands what it is that we do except this very small group of people. And in the intricacies of like the people with whom we interact, and the what we need to produce in terms of a screenplay, and what the beats are, because the Hallmark screenplays, RomCom specific screenplay like of that nature, is a very unique, it's a unicorn in the world. And even in the whole sort of, you'll see other people trying to imitate it and they won't quite nail it, because there's a certain, almost at this point, feel to it that we understand instinctively, having done this work over a decade each.
And don't you think that it's evolved a little bit? But I'm just going to say it out loud. I think the three of you have driven the way those beats are going right now. You've written so many of the big movies. Like, don't you feel like what you guys kind of say, like, that's how it goes?
No.
We just follow directions. We are following instructions. We're following rules and instructions. Like, we're not forging any new ground.
Right. We're happy, but we're happy to be able to do it when we are given the opportunity. Like, when we're given that opening to do something different, we will jump in and do it as much as we can. But ultimately, we are the employee. We are at the mercy and at the will of our employers. And that's always my advice to writers. Like, oh, how did you last so long at Hallmark and whatever? And I said, because we do the notes that they give us, and that's the job, and we don't complain, and we don't really fight. We just do them.
Well, not to them, right? We complain to each other.
Not to them. We don't complain to them.
But we bounce.
I think you guys bring a flavor to your beat.
Yeah.
Yes. I have to say, let me just say this. Like, I came up to, or just the most recent example is, I have a project in development where I was like, I don't know what to do. And I threw it out there, and Nina's like, oh, you know what you need to do? Just flip it here and here. And I'm like, that is exactly right. That is exactly the correct thing. And then I, gave that note in my meeting and did not tell him that Nina had thought of it. But it was like, I gave
I wouldn't expect
it was like very, very helpful, and like, I know, and I appreciate that. But it was much appreciated when you do, because we do so many of these that sometimes your brain, at least mine does, and more lately, locks on certain points where you're like, wait, did I already do that? And did I do it recently?
Right.
And so
I mean, how many movies do we have between us, you guys? More than 100, right?
Oh, I'm at 50, like 40, between 40 and 50, between credited and uncredited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I'm only like 30, so I guess I'm the
baby. I went through a slew of
the real big ones
of rewrites there. You got the big ones.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh. Fair enough.
She's like, yep.
Yeah. What? Do I get the big one?
Well, that is
Holiday Touchdown, A Chief's Love Story. I mean, if we're gonna throw out big movies, right?
Yes, so This year is not that. This year, there's other people having the bigger movies, which is just fine.
At Christmas, but you've already had two Barcelona movies, and I think that was pretty darn good. And
it's funny. Christmas always seems to count more.
But why is that?
Right?
We just had Ashley Williams on, and she was like, "So I was in a bar."
Oh yeah. I will say the great thing about Hallmark is that they bring us together for all these events, and so much comes of those friendships that we make with the talent, and where we'll go like, let's, the Barcelona movies came out an after party when we were just hanging out at a bar. Just those things just happen naturally when we're brought together like that as a group, and that's what I love the most about it. And Nina and I were able to go on those cruises and really get to know people even better than before. Tracy's next for the cruise, I hope.
River cruise with Jonathan Bennett and his husband, and that was good. I feel like that's me on water, and we're good. That's fine.
You don't want to be on a boat with like thousands and thousands.
4,500 Hallmark fans.
It was amazing.
So you mentioned about we'll have to talk about the cruise at the end, because I think we had you on, Julie, right before you were going the last time.
That's right. Yep.
But you made a comment about how you are, you follow the rules and you take the notes and, you stay within those boundaries. But is there something that maybe one of you is hoping one day they're going to kind of give you like the space to do? Like, is there something you would love to do in this world? Like a boundary to push or just a story to tell?
I've actually been very fortunate to have had two boundary pushing movies in the Holiday Sitter and Friends and Family Christmas. I mean, those didn't exist 10 years ago. And so I consider that to be like, okay, if you'd asked me in 2019 or prior, would these movies have been made? I would have said no. So when I was given the opportunity to write both of them, or write with Holiday Sitter, and then Friends and Family, I was brought in, and I only got to do one draft before the strike happened, and I basically was like, well, I wonder how this is going to turn out. And it turned out very nicely. But if you'd asked me in 2019, those would have been the kind of movies that I'd wanted to boundaries that wanted to push. But quite frankly, Hallmark of late has been pretty good, given the hallmark of it all, in expanding what their audience is generally perceived to be, I think.
Okay.
So,
Nina?
Delay. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
We can
now I can.
Yes.
It's like a 5-second delay.
Frozen. I don't know.
5-second delay.
Right.
Okay.
It's adorable.
Should I
it's
log
like
out and log back in?
It's adorable, really. I'm afraid you'll never come back.
I know. I don't know. Go ahead. Tell your thing, and then let's see how that works. And then if we need to have you leave and come back, we will.
Sorry, tell me what I'm saying, because you guys keep freezing too on me.
Nina, are you on your phone or your laptop? 5, 4.
I'm on
3,
my laptop.
2,
1.
5.
We did a countdown.
It was 5.
Yeah, 5.
Yeah.
So the question was, Nina, what do you have any boundary pushing ideas for that you would like to do?
Editing. Wait.
I know. I'm sorry. I feel like I should log out and come back in.
Okay, so I think I left off by asking. I was asking, you had talked about following the rules and kind of like staying within those Hallmark or whatever network we're working for, boundaries. And I was just curious if there was something that you were hoping that they would kind of give you the go ahead to push, like something new to bring to our, this world of movies.
Nina,
For
that's you.
me, Personally, yeah. No, I'm still thinking about the answer because of my whole snafu with my electronics. For me personally, I mean, no, the kind of like I have scripts that I'm writing that are like my R-rated chick comedies that are not suitable for
Same.
Hallmark. I get to
Yep.
do that, on the side on my own. For this, I mean, I like that we get to have a proper representation of how the world works, how the world looks. We get to, be a little funnier and have some high highs and low lows that we weren't allowed to have years ago. But I mean, I'm not looking to reinvent the wheel for Hallmark because the formula that they have, I think that there are people who do these things very well, like Tracy, like Jonathan Bennett. And they did some on the Mahogany, which I got to be a part of some of the Mahogany movies too. I don't think that there's, I think we follow this formula because it works and we have a lot of fun doing it. We get to find little ways to twist it up, but it's the brand is the brand and we honor that always.
That's what people don't get though, is that, yes, there is a formula, but then also it's, what makes a movie great, because we all know how these are ending, right? So what makes a really good Hallmark movie is that you might not be able to guess how that's going to happen. And that's our challenge after this many movies,
Right.
is sort of just finding a different way to have them kiss at the end, or maybe not even at the end. I had a kiss in the Barcelona movie in the first act, which I was so excited. So if that's my answer, is that I got to have a kiss in the first act of a movie for the first time, that was very exciting. But like,
I'm a big fan of the mid-movie kiss. I love the mid-movie kiss.
Yeah, totally.
And we get to do that a lot. It wasn't welcome a while ago.
I just did it.
But now we get to do it.
And I'm very excited about it.
Yeah.
We like it too.
Yeah. We
and then you have to find a reason why after the kiss, because the reason behind why they would always push the kiss to the end is the perception was, well, now the movie's over. So you have to find, and that's what our sort of goal is how you can have a mid-movie kiss, but what is it about the story that means the audience knows, hey, the story's not over. This isn't over. What's going to happen next? What sort of, is there a hanging, lie, or is there some other element that's awaiting that could potentially blow up this romance? And that's sort of our goal in the process, is how do we craft that story that makes the audience be like, yeah, great, they've kissed, but now what? What's going to happen? Because we all know there's going to be a moment where something goes awry. Right. And for me, I've always liked the earlier kiss, because that means like, okay, now we've cemented this relationship, but what, and so when the thing that happens that's inevitably going to happen that tears the lovers apart, what is it going to be, and how do we get them back together? So that's, it's harder to believe that these are two people who've never met and they're going to completely upend their lives, and for one chaste kiss that that they haven't even yet had. So that's the fun part of the middle. So.
And how do we keep that formula fresh? Because we all know how the movie's gonna end. It's not gonna be like, and then he got hit by a bus and died. Like, we're not gonna end a Hallmark movie like that ever.
Hold on, I gotta write something down. Oh no. Uh-oh.
After they kiss,
there's
the city bus.
I would love,
but how do you keep it fresh?
Yeah.
How do you take the viewer on a fun ride?
Mm-hmm. The one thing that they don't let us do still, which I actually, it's not they don't let us, we just don't do them, is like a post-credit sequence of like, where are they now? Yeah. With on the bottom where it says what happened later. I'm just a fan of that for any movie. I just love the where are they now 6 months later, or like cut to.
Or when it's a funeral. Like they did that brilliantly in that one, right?
Yeah. It's not that they don't let us. It's just we usually run out of time, and that's one thing that's easily cuttable, basically. So it's just very. I don't know. Maybe it's happened. I can't remember if I've ever had one.
I think it would be fun, like something from the viewers. I know, just not exactly that, but at the end of the Wedding Veil, there was like the couch interview. Peter Benson was interviewing Lacey and Kevin. That was, fans loved that stuff.
Oh, I don't remember. I forgot about that. Yeah,
something like that. Something a little after.
Yeah,
Where Are They Now sequence would be. I mean, so many books end that way too, with the where are they.
Epilogue. You know, one thing that I gets discouraged that I've actually always kind of wanted to do is the voiceover with that kind of Grey's Anatomy voiceover
Oh,
thing.
right.
You have the narrator telling the story. I don't. Maybe there have been ones and I've missed them, but I've certainly known that when I've tried to sort of pitch that idea, it has been discouraged. And I understand it's like some audience and listen, again, the execs know their audience, but that's kind of one thing I've always wanted to be able to try to do.
They did one on Holiday Hotline, but I didn't write it because it was one of those things I turned in like you before the strike. And then I think they just needed to get some information out quick. So someone, not us, wrote a voiceover for the beginning to sort of explain the whole story and set it up. And it turned out fine. You know, I don't love using it unless it was ironically and like if you kind of made it sort of meta and said like, yes, I know I'm talking and I don't even know who I'm talking to.
Arrested Development, where it's like sort of comments on it, like, and the narrator says, and no, he did not, you know, that kind of stuff where it kind of counters
like
whatever
a Fleabag, like look to the camera, like that, but you can't really, you can't do that.
I did one movie that it was my first movie, I think, and it had bookended voiceovers at the very beginning and the very end. They let me do that. That was so long ago. What?
I said, which one was that one?
Backyard Wedding. It was my very first.
Aww. I love that. It was
you never forget your first.
Right? So we're talking about breaking rules. What is a rule or expectation that you actually love following? Like these are cores of the movie of the week world. Which ones do you really like?
I'm a structure person, so I love like knowing the rhythm of the mid-story twist, I guess, if that makes sense. I like that in the formula where
always your act 4 break.
Yeah.
Act 4 break and act 8 break. Those are figuring out those, and then everything else you fill in later. But your act 4 and your act 8 break is like your all is lost moment and your big big
twist. Like the movie I'm writing, the thing I'm finishing right now, you really think that the movie is about one thing, and it literally at the end of Act 4, it's that part of the story is over, and it's a whole different thing. Like which I love, which doesn't always happen like that, but I like it when that happens because it's gonna be it's very. So I do like a kind of an animosity based meet cute.
Okay. Yes. I love a good meet cute. Yeah.
I like a good meet cute that's got tension and banter.
Yeah. But they can't, and there's always, they don't say they have to be at odds, but I always think it's funnier.
Right.
What's your favorite meet cute that you've done, Julie?
Me?
Yeah. That's a great question.
Good Lord. You're asking me, Tracy, I can't remember anything. That's Nina. Ask Nina. Nina, you answer.
My favorite meet cute, I think, is
think about this.
Is probably, I have a lot that I really that were fun to write. There was one movie that I wrote and I didn't get credit on, and it was called Christmas in Love, and I rewrote it, and Brooke Dorsey opens the car door and smacks Daniel Lissing in the head and he falls on the ground. I love that. I love hurting them, because my other favorite is when Ashley Williams is carrying a Christmas tree and she knocks Niall Mater over and she knocks him out with a Christmas tree.
So we're getting a little bit into your psyche.
I think I like hurting men.
Tracy,
I like
how about you?
Hot boys.
I'm
gonna have to look up my IMDb right now to remember any movie I've ever written. Now,
why do you do that? Jeremy? I'll tell you. Mine is from It's Christmas Eve, and reason I like it is because of the way it ended. I think I like the meet cute because of the ending, and it was one of those things that I had written when I was literally coming down with shingles and my head was on fire. And it was like right here in my head. So I didn't know it at the time, but I was seriously sick. And I was trying to write 2 movies almost simultaneously. So I had come to this point with It's Christmas Eve, and I knew I needed to write this very fast. And I had no idea what the meet cute would be. 0. And so I just had, and I went and I laid down on my bed and I was so tired. And I was just started writing the most classic she trips and falls and spills a coffee on the guy's shirt. I'm like, God, no, what are you doing? In my head, I talk a lot in my head. And so what it ended up becoming in For It's Christmas Eve was you have that someone you think Leanne Rimes is going to have the classic moment, but it ends up happening for two other people, and then that's when Tyler Hynes comes in and is like, "Yep, classic meet cute," and they start talking about
That's
it.
so brilliant.
Oh, that's cute.
You see the couple that had spilled, because he's like, "Yep, that's when they're gonna fall in love," and then
That's
do,
so
like,
smart. Ooh, I love that.
The ending of it was like, finally Leanne realizes, hey, Tyler Hynes is cute. What am I doing? Why am I leaving town? This is dumb of me. And so she comes across, to the house and knocks on his door, and he arrives with, by the way, props, with his little cup. And she finally, gives the whole spiel, and she basically asks him, is your coffee hot? And he's like, no. And he starts to say it's kind of tepid, and she just spills it into his shirt because she's just like, now we're having our meet cute. And he's like,
that's genius. Oh. That's so good.
That's
Not that I didn't see that movie, but that's really good.
You don't have to see it.
The old shingles meet cute.
The shingles.
Gotta love the old shingles meet cute.
My head was on fire.
Next time I see that movie, I'm going to be like, this is it.
Now I have to watch it. I have not seen it.
I know, everybody pull it up on Hallmark Plus and watch that one.
I'm going to. I found mine.
Okay.
It's One Royal Holiday, because it's this coffee shop scene where Laura Osnes is just like the sweetest pie nurse, and she's just on her way home to Connecticut for Christmas, and she's just happy as can be to be going home to her father's inn and having coffee, and she's just delighted to be anywhere. And then in comes Aaron Tveit, who is this very buttoned up prince that that no one knows he's a prince, and he comes in there and he's such a jerk. Like, he's just like, ugh. Like, ew, it's like I'm in a Dunkin', like, blah. And he's so snobby, and she gets a buy one, get one free donut, and she tries to give him the donut, and he's like, I don't take food from strangers. and then he's just holding it like it's like a diseased bag. And then the queen walks in, and the queen's delighted that he got a free donut, and she tries it, and she's so happy, and he's just miserable. And so, like, it's the most like, I hate you meet cute I've ever done. And
Snarky.
I love that. I love it. Like,
He's so cute.
Because my favorite line that we still quote in our house is she's like, "Oh, did you buy a donut?" The queen, and he goes, "No, it was free," and he just like throws it away. It was free.
Wait,
and it's just so cute.
As someone who loves Aaron Tveit, like, that whole meet cute is hilarious, because he's so just mad about even just being there.
He hates being there so much, and it's like the fact that he got a free donut is like the worst thing you could ever have happen to him. So that's the one I like. That's it. I'm done.
I love that.
I need to rewatch that one as well, because I
know.
don't even
I
know
watched
if I've
that.
seen that one.
Yeah, no,
I'm sure.
That's my favorite. That's one of my favorite movies.
We try to watch each other's movies. Like, there's so many, and we're so busy that we can't always watch.
And we never
movies,
ever
we try
get
to watch
offended.
each other's.
Never.
But I will never ever get upset if they go, it's on my DVR, and it's 9 months later. I'll be like, girl,
I'm like,
you do you.
Sorry.
We all watched the Chiefs movie, though. We all did watch the Chiefs movie.
Did you though? Did you?
I fully did. I got a little verklempt when Ed was talking about the chairs.
Well, wait a minute. Yeah. Nina, there's no, like, now if Nina watched, I believe that Tracy watched it because we were both big football people.
I did watch it.
No, but like, you watching it is a victory, because that's making you watch sports ball.
Sports ball. Yeah.
That's
so
right.
This is another little thing that we have is Julie and I are rabid football fans. She's the 49ers.
Yeah.
The Chiefs. The 49ers. I'm the Miami Dolphins. It was a bad choice when I was 5 years old, but you stick with it. And so,
well, they had.
I'm Broadway,
and she's always like,
I'm Broadway.
It's sports ball metaphor. We're like, yes.
Is that a sports ball reference? Like, you have to tell me these things. I don't know.
But we would all go to sing along. Like, we all love, like, Sound of Music and like
Sound of Music
singing in the rain and all that. Yeah.
So Julie stays with me when she comes into town. And was it the last time that we watched?
It was the time before.
Okay, we watched Singing in the Rain. Yeah, and that was like, loved that movie.
Best movie.
Yeah. So
Was there a movie that impacted you like growing up that kind of made you
Singing
want
in the
to
Rain and Sound of Singing in the Rain, Sound of
Oh,
Music.
classic.
Those
Yeah.
were huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Nina?
I've always loved like the 80s movies, like
Yeah.
Right.
Breakfast Club and 16 Candles, and those movies, like those movies are that I'm like, that's the kind of stuff that like made me want to be a part of this industry.
And Nora Ephron stuff, of course,
Yes.
getting later
Oh,
later
yeah.
on, you
Oh,
know, like we
100%.
all wanted to write When Harry Met Sally, and
Right.
you know,
Yes,
but
of course.
and then like I started getting into those old like 1950s, 40s, like Pillow Talk and all those kinds of movies, which I think
Ugh.
honestly, those movies are so great because they can't kiss really, they can't have sex, they can't do anything. It all has to be subtext. It's harder to write those. So those movies
Mhm.
that hold up.
It's postcode. And that's similar to what we have to do. Is like
Yeah.
we have to kind of essentially write within that same sort of parameter. So if you love the old movies from the 40s, 50s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and then mid 60s, that's kind of helpful in terms of producing these types of movies, which is probably no surprise that Julie, Nina, and I love those types of movies as well.
Yeah.
I think
You gotta have sexual tension with no sex.
Yeah, basically.
Right?
Philadelphia Story, that kind
Oh,
of
yeah.
inspired my first movie, Backyard Wedding, was very much inspired by Philadelphia Story.
Yeah, I loved Cactus Flower growing up. That was a
Wow.
That is the.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
It's Ingrid Bergman and Walter Matthau and Goldie Hawn's first movie. She won an Oscar for it for Best Supporting Actress, and it was written by I.A.L. Diamond, who was Billy Wilder's big writer. So when you go and you see that movie, you can hear the banter about it. You'll be like, wow, this feels like a Billy Wilder movie. And it isn't, but you understand why. And he was such a great writer in his ability to produce that back and forth. So that's why when you see something like Some Like It Hot or Sabrina, which is also just perfection, the Audrey Hepburn Sabrina, like that's the kind of banter. And,
these are good pulls, Tracy. This is impressive. Did you come up with these?
I'm going to do one more poll, and that's
Oh my
Roman
God.
Holiday.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was
Which I think they did do a Hallmark movie that was like very much inspired by that, because I had I was arbitrated. I was a credit arbitrator on that one. I had to read all the scripts. I think it was a Hallmark movie.
Plus, you just listed off so many classic, great movies that people need lists of movies to watch. I think that was just like an ongoing list of a whole bunch of inspiration movies if you haven't seen them. So what do you do when you first get an idea for a script? Do you write it down? Do you voice message yourself? What do you do when something comes? Yeah.
I use notes in my phone a lot. I'm constantly driving if I have an idea, and I'll just be like, if I say it right now, it'll open on my phone. But I'll say open notes and my phone, and I'll be driving and I'll just dictate into notes if I get a thought while I'm driving.
Sometimes I'll have ideas for like, I have a kernel of an idea and then I'll be talking about it with like my husband or something. And I have the worst memory on the planet. So I'll tell him, okay, now text me back everything I just said. Like literally text me what I just said and send it to me so I can remember all these really cool things, because it'll just go gone.
Yeah. I write things down by hand on paper with paper and pen.
With a quill?
With a quill, yes.
With ink. She's like Hermione.
I did buy a fountain pen, which makes me feel very fancy, like a writer.
Oh, I love a good pen.
Yeah.
Super fan.
I love a good pen.
I think I might have one over there. Not quite, but I should have one with it. But yeah, I have like lots of these hanging around, and I keep them. I have boxes of them for after I finish a movie from having written down that sort of thing. And sometimes
you save all your stuff?
Yeah, like not everything. Not everything.
Mine is in the recycle bin. Like someone, if they wanted to climb through that, they would just get a whole education. Because I go through the notes and I scratch them out and I'm like done, and I rip it in half and I throw them away. Like when I'm done with it, it's done.
I have notebooks that just say you can go through and see all different notes from all different projects and first draft notes, you know, outline notes, whatever, and then the date. And I have notebooks still that have like a lot of those old notes.
Oh man, you guys are gonna have like a great like museum of yourselves someday where they'll have
I
like
never
fountain
want to
pen.
read them again.
Yeah, exactly. Well, when I moved, I actually pulled out boxes and I started like thumbing through some of my early ones. I'm like, oh my god, I totally forgot about that plot line that I had.
But could you like repitch? Did you ever find any like you're like, hey, that was pretty good. I'm gonna pitch this.
No, I haven't looked at them that closely. You know.
No, I have with things that were passed on.
Yeah.
And then repitched because it was like
different.
I think it's time for this one now, and then it gets bought even though it's been passed on.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty cool. Someone asked me on the podcast, like, what movie would you want a sequel of? And I'm like, I'm just going to go ahead and pitch that thing that they passed on out loud. I just said the idea. Maybe they'll like it 4 years later. I don't know. Someone will watch it.
Which movie was it?
It was Wedding Every Weekend. It was it would be the sequel, but it would have been Baby Showers.
Okay. That out loud. That would be cute.
Yep. It would have been cute.
That's cute.
That is cute.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Well, you know, they are doing a lot more of these sequels or a couple in a row that follow each other. So maybe hope is not lost on that. But you know, when you were saying, Julie, that you spill all your ideas to your husband, then you have him text it back. What I was wondering is, does it ever come back different than you were thinking it? And then you're like,
no, it's only little thing. It's only like, it'd be like a paragraph. Like it's only like if I think of something and then I start just spewing things and I'm doing like stream of consciousness and I know I'm not going to remember, but he has a really good memory. So he will. So, cause he just has a photographic memory and so does my kid. And I do not, I have the opposite. So yeah, I don't even know who you guys are right now. Like, I don't even know.
My name's Julie, so I feel like I'm so...
That was easy.
Oh, hi, Tracy. I know you. Hey, I'm a big fan.
It's like Dory, you know, with like every time she sends us a face. Oh, hey.
Hey. Well, no, but that's good because then when I get rejected, I just forget how devastated I was, and I just keep moving on, like childbirth. I just
get over it.
Yeah, like
it's just easier that way.
That is funny.
No.
So are there any misconceptions you think that people have about writing these movies of the weeks?
They're easy.
Yeah, that's my answer.
Think I could write a Hallmark movie in a second.
Yep.
That's exactly the answer.
Go for it. Just do it.
Go ahead.
I can't tell you how many times.
Get notes.
Yeah. I can't tell you.
Figure out how to make it work.
Yeah, it's difficult to try to keep the audience's attention. One, when we do know where it's going and probably how a lot of times how it's going to get there. But at the same time, you have to find a way. And oh, by the way, here's a litany of things you cannot do, and that would in any other circumstance be used as tools to create tension and conflict. Nope, can't do that. Can't do that. Can't do that.
Yep.
So yeah, I've had quite a few people who in the writing, because here in Los Angeles, we all know other people who are writers. Who kind of, this is easy.
Yeah. I had a writer who's very successful give me an outline for a Hallmark movie. And I said, and this is a person who's been a showrunner, like extremely successful. And I said, look, I don't even know how to tell you this. Like your entire movie in a Hallmark would have been act 1, like of what you just gave me. Like he gave me this huge long movie. I'm like, all of the things you gave me would be act 1 of 9 in a Hallmark movie. Like, cause it's just, you have to understand the way that it
not
plays
an
out.
indie. It's not an indie.
No. So it's like, I feel terrible, but but
I would have never thought that people
all the big ones.
think it's easy, because I think it would be so hard to make sure you're hitting all the pieces, because the time frame is actually limited. Like however many minutes you get is that time frame. How do you build compelling characters in that limitation?
It's
hard. And then they kept, then you write stuff. Yeah. Go ahead.
You got to figure out how to introduce someone and then change them over the course of 104 pages.
Right.
While they fall in love and plan a parade,
but also, knowing that this has been done, they may have between 40 to 100 movies a year. Like, hey, we don't want to try to have this. We want to have a little bit of originality that, and you do want to put some of that in there. And, there are a lot of people who also, I think in terms of misconception is that, oh, every movie is exactly the same. And you're like, no, there are wrinkles to, yes, but no,
but that's people, and that's people that don't watch the channel. There's no, like, if you really watched Hallmark, you would never say that they're all the same. It's just an easy thing for someone to say on TikTok when they're making fun of it.
Yeah.
You know? Which I still think, like, I love the fact that we get on The Simpsons and everyone has, and they make all these memes and stuff. I think that's great because that means that you're in the zeitgeist and that that what you're doing is being seen. But people that make fun of it like that, it's just an easy way to make fun of it. Like, oh, they're all the same.
I think people who make fun of it that they're bad. That's where I don't find it funny. That people who make fun of it where they're like, oh, hi, I'm coming to the big city. And like they're trying to be really bad actors in these spoofs and things.
I know
and
who you're talking about.
They're not bad actors. They're actually very good and compelling and charming.
Yeah.
And so those I don't find funny when they're trying to say that they're bad. When they're making fun of what they are, I love that. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Also, if you're being made fun of, then you are so woven into the fabric that people get the joke. So if you're not that popular, like, people won't get the joke. You have to be woven into the fabric of society in order to be part of the fun. And so Hallmark really has done that. It's woven itself into the fabric of our lives, and everyone gets the reference. And so that part's the fun part, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. It's been fun watching that evolve because we've all been involved with Hallmark at a time when we weren't part of the zeitgeist. Like, so
right.
To watch
it was just getting started. It was just kind of starting to really,
So it's been fun watching that happen. It went from people saying, "Oh, you're writing a Hallmark movie," to,
we're sorry, you're at the end of your career.
to how can you get me in to write a Hallmark
That's right.
movie? That's where that's what it's become. Yeah.
Where do you think, or when do you think the shift happened? Do you think there was something, like, is there something that you can contribute to that little shift?
I think Countdown to Christmas, when they really launched it as like, I don't remember how many it was. I think they just had the 15-year anniversary of that. But
right, so 2010,
I think it was when they started doing 20 movies instead of 4 or however many they started at the beginning. I think that really people took notice and they were like, oh, there's more than one Christmas movie to watch. And that's what I think.
People started realizing along the way that these movies are, they're the comfort food at a time when the rest of the world is particularly challenging. And so it's that feeling when I think what I've been told from within the executive ranks is that Hallmark's ratings tend to improve when the rest of the world is getting worse. So I think you can kind of see,
that's good to know.
Yeah, exactly.
So like COVID was a big thing because that's what I heard from so many people, like that was just sort of like they were just because I think I had the first couple movies that were made right after COVID, but during COVID, I think people we never addressed it. We just we kept this bubble of everything's okay and the world's okay and everybody's happy and everyone likes to escape into that little bubble because it wasn't okay anywhere else except in that world. I hate seeing shows now that obviously were filmed during COVID and they're talking about it and the masks are on and it's like, I don't want to go back there. I don't want to watch that. I do not need to relive that. I don't want to relive that.
Everybody wanted to write a COVID movie at that point. And I was like, I do not. Like where it's like, a Zoom relationship or whatever. I don't know. But people really wanted to dig in because that's what we were all experiencing. But we did not. And during the shutdown, I think that first year of COVID, I think I made 6 movies between 2020 and 2021. It was crazy busy.
I made one movie.
I think I did One Royal Holiday and Wedding Every Weekend.
Mine was Christmas.
They shot
Everything-
right after COVID.
Yeah.
Everything that I had been sitting there once production shut down, they started reading them and they were like, oh, this one, and this one are going to move forward like quickly. And then I had a couple rewrites in there too. I mean, it was a crazy time.
Once we emerged from, then that's when I found it personally, it got really busy for me. It was like, okay, we're able to start shooting now. But there that first 6 months where they're like, yeah, we don't know what to do.
Yeah.
You know, we're not sure what we're doing.
We got lucky
they
with
were
casting
like, okay, before you kiss, you have to like rinse your whole mouth out with like battery acid, and then you have to spit it out, and then you have to kiss, but you can't kiss for more than 2 seconds. Like the kissing was it was so complicated.
I totally forgot the Rockettes movie was shot during COVID. I forgot. I like
that little movie.
That was a tiny little movie. Nobody watched that one.
I literally did not get a picture of me with the Rockettes because of COVID, because like all the other people got to have their pictures, and then I was like last in line, and then they're like, nope, there's too much COVID, and so like too many people, and so I never really got that picture, so I photoshopped myself into into like one picture because no one was gonna doubt it. I'm like, it was just for my Christmas card. I'm like, here it is. I was there. It was real. But
yeah, that was fun. But you know, I think you're right. A lot of people find the network in the movies and the shows when they're looking for some sort of comfort. And I think that's why there's so many stories to be told. Like every time we meet people kind of out in the wild at events or whatever, everybody seems to have their own little Hallmark story of how they found or what the channel means to them and what these movies mean to them. I mean, I don't know.
But it's also escapism. Very much escapism. Yeah.
Absolutely.
You're never going to be thrown for a loop. No, again, there's never going to be a bus coming barreling down the street mid-kiss. Not going to happen.
There you're back.
Okay, Trace? It's not going to be.
I don't know.
It's not going to be depressing.
What just happened?
You just blinked for a minute and recording restarted for you, so you're fine.
You're back.
I don't even know.
I did? Oh.
No, it was not you this time.
Oh, okay.
I didn't touch anything. So
I am just having electrical issues.
Yeah, we're good. It was Tracy this time.
It was me. I told you it's usually.
Oh, Tracy. Okay, good.
As a joke, I should just go like, and then I.
I love, Nina, that you said like Countdown to Christmas you think might have been like the big changeover. Because I mean families watch that together, but even like at my work, people will be like, okay, Julie, what's on, what's the next new Christmas movie, or which one should I watch this weekend? Or, there's a lot of talk. I work in a large work environment, and everybody's looking for a Christmas movie and that a bit of escape. So actually, we'll call it a holiday movie because Julie has written some just fantastic Hanukkah movies, and
not just me. Nina's written 2 Hanukkah movies too.
I've not done Hanukkah.
Oh,
one Hanukkah.
Nina. Okay, I the alternative choices for sure have been high on my list of recommendations for people to watch for sure. And then The Holiday Sitter too was a big recommendation of mine. Because I work with a very diverse group of people, but they're all looking for a Hallmark rack. And I kind of love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun being able to kind of like whatever person you meet out in the wild, there's usually a Hallmark movie that can kind of like, match them up. Kind of like the Hallmark the cards. You're like, we've got a movie for you, somebody it'll fit in. That sort of thing. Yeah. And
the best is when you meet people and they go, oh, which ones have you written? And you're like,
well, let me just pull up my IMDb page. It's so many.
I do. I'm like,
scroll down.
There's so many, but like I'll try and rattle off the biggest ones. Like Dollywood is one of the most like recognizable names of my movies, because a lot of them do sort of sound the same.
Titles, there's some titles.
The titles can sound the same.
where I'm like, wait, is that mine? You know, like, because the title usually when we're writing it is another title, and they're like, oh, guess what? It's now this title. You're like, okay, I guess.
Yeah, that just happened to me because so many had the word Christmas in it that they didn't want the word Christmas in it. So we had to change the title.
I'm so happy to hear that. I thought for a while they all had to have the word Christmas in it.
Yeah, it has to be recognizable as a holiday thing, but because they were, I think, starting to sound so uniform that they, I don't know what it's called now, but they'll tell me.
Viewers struggle to know if they watched it or not because they all blend together. So maybe good that we're spreading out those names a little bit.
Yeah.
We're like,
so how do
we'll tell each other, we're like, hey, your movie's on.
Yeah,
like we know the name, like we know what we've all worked on, but not maybe we didn't see them, but we know what each other basically have worked on.
We know because we'll be like, oh, what are you working on? Oh, well, I've got this one, that one, and this one, and I'm still working on Barcelona, and it's like that one is like sent to outline. We always know kind of where in the process each other is. And
they just cheered me on because I just turned in one. They're like, so that's been good.
Love it. You always have multiple projects going on, it seems, at a time. So how many do you currently have on your plate right now?
You kind of go up and down. So sometimes I'll tell you, if you'd asked me this in May, I would have said 0 and it was like one of those things where I was like, oh gosh. Right now I just submitted and I think I believe that starts shooting in about 2 weeks.
And what's shooting now? The big one.
The Grand Ole Opry Christmas is right. It just started shooting today, so I'm really excited about that one bit. And then coming up for this Christmas is a third one that was actually done, completed. I think was it in January?
So long ago.
Wait, did they announce it yet though, Trace?
No, never.
Yeah, they announced.
They have not announced. No, it's the other one they haven't announced. It's got a boat. It's all I'll say.
I feel like they did announce it.
Did they?
I feel like it's been announced because I swear I saw a picture.
Well, no, one of the actors has done
okay, I won't.
From it. Yeah,
it hasn't been announced, so I can't say anything except that the title does not have the word Christmas.
And I don't have a Christmas movie this year.
This is the first one in like 15 years. But you just did Chief's Christmas, which was huge. So
I had 4 movies
and
last year.
Barcelona and Barcelona.
Yeah,
and then Hanukkah last year. Yeah. And Hanukkah. So I mean, yes. So I don't have one, which is weird, but it's like, like Tracy said, it goes up and down. So I have I've got like one thing I'm finishing now, and then hopefully I'll get back on the, and then we always talk about, we always at different times, all 3 of us are like, I don't know, like it feels like things are slowing down, and then we're going to be like, just wait, in 2 months, you're going to wish that you had a little time. And then that usually is what happens. Like we all get like super busy. It definitely ebbs and flows like that. Yeah.
And that's the best part about, one of the best parts about our friendship is when we do go through these sort of lulls in terms of the amount of material that we're working on. And we're all consciously aware of how blessed we are to be able to, for so many years, have movie after movie after movie, that when we go through a period of time where suddenly I don't have another movie, that we start having this sweat and existential threat of what is this happening? And then the other two, whomever it is, will be like, listen,
remember me 3 months ago? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And then there's usually a bottle of alcohol sent to that person.
Yeah, we send each other something.
Or a gift, or I think I received chocolate and then
wine.
Wine. We've done tequila, chocolate.
Julie got
I have a giant bottle of tequila from when I had no work after the strike. I had finished everything, and they had all these things that were going, and I was like, well, I have nothing.
Yeah, so I think of the 3 of us, I'm in that. I'm not like, I'm more in that space, like, what's next, but but not.
Give her 2 seconds and she's going to be
worried about you, Julie.
But we are, but the thing is, we're
so
neurotic
many stops
writers.
and starts at the network, like lately, just like regime changes and a lot of new management, people getting let go, new people coming in. So
there's always a pause. Yeah. I mean,
there's just been a lot of stops and starts. So we're kind of in a holding pattern right now as the new person started last week. And
so
she's
we're
an old
all
person.
neurotic by
old,
nature.
I was just going to say, Michelle, the newest old person ever. Like,
she's the one who came up with Countdown for Christmas, you know, so.
No, we're excited. We're excited.
We're excited to have
Oh my God, we're all so excited. We're so excited.
And
so that's interesting to know that, like, when these changes happen, it kind of pauses everything in a sense.
I mean, not everything, but just like new things take a second to get through, because, like, you know, invariably if someone new is in charge, then there's decisions that are made about like what we're looking for, and they might be the same, they might be different, like, but you might have, you know, I pitched something like 3 weeks ago that was right for 3 weeks ago, but might not be right tomorrow. And you really just don't know. I mean, but like, just being an erotic writer, and like we all are, you know, we all go, like, literally every writer in Hollywood goes right to like, it's over, I'm going to sell my house and move to the country and live in a camper down by the river. You know, like, we all go there. So
pretty much. Yeah. Yeah.
And now we just, while Michelle comes back in and gets her bearings, they have like 2026, they had earmarked what they want to air for the entire year as far as rom-coms. Right. And nobody really knows if that's going to change now, if those movies that are earmarked are actually going to happen, or if they're going to change stunts or change what they want to do seasonally. Nobody, I mean, they might know, but we don't, you know, we find out.
Right. What I'm hearing is like, they're, you know, waiting to have sort of Michelle kind of come in and which is great, because she obviously knows, what the network's about and how it puts it forth. So we're,
but we just sit there and kind of be like, you know,
and that's the best thing about having been there for all three of us for this long, is that we've been through a lot of changes. You know, we've been at the beginning before they suddenly had, you know, the very sort of what people perceive as the Hallmark movie, the way that they do those things. And then we have the changes in leadership, which for the last 5 years have created many different directions. And
a lot of back and forth. And right. I mean, like right now I have 2, one that's written that I'm waiting to hear. It's supposed to be for Mother's Day. I don't know what's going to happen. I have 2 that I'm going to keep writing them.
Yeah.
And, you know,
right. It's a just keep swimming. It's like a just keep swimming thing. If I'm Dory, we've established now that I'm Dory. It is sort of a just keep swimming mentality. But like, then part of me is like, okay, you know what? If I have a month or so where it's not quite as insane as it usually is, like, you know, you would think like, well, I'm going to work out and I'm going to get into shape and do all these things. But instead we'll just sit there and kind of, you know, not like, you would think that would be what we do, but that's not what's going to happen. I'm just going to watch TikTok and think of new ideas and bother Tracy and Nina.
I just having turned in this one project. I'm really excited about watching the season 3 of Gilded Age right now. This is like my
it's so good.
I haven't even watched season 3 yet.
Okay.
So I can't wait.
I know I'm behind on that show too. I need to catch up. Yeah. I feel like I watched the first season and then I just kind of like walked away from it, and then now I'm starting back up and I'm like, oh, why didn't I just keep watching? I mean, it's right up my alley.
I can't watch it during the day because my light in my TV room, like, it's like that show is so dark, like literally dark, that I can't see it if I don't watch it at night.
At nighttime.
So beautiful though, and that's the thing, that show, they put so much effort into the detail of it that you want to be able to see the detail.
You don't want to miss it.
Yeah.
Right.
I reward myself with it when I'm done with my work at the end of the day. Then I reward myself with a couple of episodes, because I watched the whole 3 seasons, and it's only 22 episodes or 24 episodes, but I watched the whole 3 seasons in like a week and a half.
That's awesome.
I loved it, Ben.
It was so good. I loved it.
Although we were there when Nina confessed to never having seen Downton Abbey, and Julie and I basically.
I watched it. I watched the whole thing.
She kept texting us like every time something horrible happened, we're like, oh God, here she's on this episode. Here it comes.
I was like, wait a minute. I would text them like, does he Die?
Died?
Oh no!
Oh.
Wait,
Like it's not a secret at this point.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, the statute of limitations of spoilers has expired on Downton Abbey on that one.
Like
so.
9 years ago.
Yeah.
At least, yeah.
But
My own fault. But I loved it. I watched it. It's my
Thank
own
God.
fault.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like when people say, "I'm starting Grey's Anatomy," and you're like, "Well,
oh,
I have a friend
That was
here.
like 19 years ago.
that's more than
It's
that's
more
like
than that.
5 years ago.
decades.
I have
Yeah.
a friend here that said she'd never seen The Princess Bride, and I'm like,
excuse me." That is
we can't. We literally can't be friends. Like we cannot be friends.
inconceivable.
Like there's
Inconceivable.
fundamental difference. in our-
Inconceivable, exactly.
Like, we cannot be
I
friends
mean,
now.
the thing it means.
We're not friends, actually.
You get like, come on. That is, I
Friendship
mean, you know,
over.
Yeah.
As I wish you should watch that.
That was Julie's favorite movie. Yeah.
It's perfection. It's a perfect movie.
It's everything about it.
It's
It is.
amazing.
It's spectacular.
And so quotable.
My crowning achievement as a parent is my son got extra credit on an AP test in high school because the bonus question on the back was, what was the powder?
My son knows the answer to that.
Yeah.
My son knows the answer to that.
Duh.
He does.
Iocane. Come on.
Well, we
It's the
watched
iocane
yeah,
powder.
Yeah.
Like
Then you
these
just
are good things. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, no.
The best day ever was when I could show my son Coming to America without having to bleep out anything, and he could just watch
Yeah.
it. That's my favorite movie. That's like my favorite movie.
I have to rewatch that one. I haven't seen it. I watched it
Best
like a
movie.
whole bunch when it first came out, and I haven't.
That's a perfectly done movie. Yes, you.
It's a good one, but my favorite
Wait, what's
of that
the
era
what's the
is
powder?
Trading Places.
Wait, Connor, what's the powder in Princess Bride? What's it called? Powder.
Iocane powder.
Correct.
Yeah, see,
Yes.
I heard
You
it.
may go.
Well done.
You get a cookie.
Yeah.
Connor
You
gets
get
a
the-
cookie.
You get the parenting award too.
That's right.
All Julies get the parenting award.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's right.
Raising,
I
raising
could not
the
get my
children
daughter to
well.
watch it.
But
But no, she has no interest.
But he's so cute.
yeah,
I know.
come on, Wesley.
I
She'll
mean,
get there. She'll get there. She's working her way right now through like the early 2000s rom-com, so I can't get too
Fair.
mad, right?
Okay.
13
Okay.
on 30.
Fair.
You know.
Yes, like she
10 Things I Hate About You. Did she watch
well,
that?
she was just learning the monologue from that movie in self-taping 'cause she's trying to make herself a demo reel. She's very
Oh
cute.
wow.
Doing
Oh,
all
that's
this.
sweet.
But that's the one of the monologues she chose, and I was like, okay, that's solid.
Fair. Yeah.
Approved. Solid choice.
Yeah, yes.
Also cookie worthy.
Yes.
That's-
Yeah, well, how about quinceañera worthy? I threw her quinceañera.
Okay, fair.
You did. You've given enough.
We can chill on the cookies. All right, but so you've written so many of these movies. And we've talked about how you have to be careful about keeping it fresh and not, recycling or doing something you've already done or somebody else has already done. So how do you do that? Like, do you have a little something that's personal to you that just kind of like helps you keep something fresh, or do you keep track of like all the cutes you've done so you don't do one again, or like what's your little secret?
For
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, I don't know. It just like
Instinct.
because you know what it is, because I think the three of us when we create a character, that becomes an actual person in our heads that only exists for this movie.
Yeah.
So their voice is just their voice, and that's not the same. We all have the same. We all keep our style. Like I know a Tracy movie and I know a Nina movie, but like the characters are different enough that they're not going to repeat other stuff because these are new people.
Yeah.
That because maybe that means we're all crazy. I don't know.
Well, we are. It's we're just managing voices in our head right now. That's how we deal.
I mean, mine consists of a very scientific method of racking my brain, eating lots of chips, and trying to figure out how to make it fresh.
So, and one of the things that I kind of, when I first started doing this, I was very anxious about, how do I do this? How do I, make it fresh? How do I do, make this a new take on it? And what I kind of along the way settled into is just trust my own voice. Like this is the voice that they keep hiring me for so far. Let's just trust that voice, and that voice with the new characters, circumstances, and ultimate story will come through, and there will be variations, and there's certainly times where in terms of the tone of the story will impact how your character comes across. So that's how it comes with each individual universe. It has its own unique and fresh qualities to it. So
I did get caught. I did catch myself repeating a line. Like I did catch myself like repeating a line of dialogue in a couple movies, and then they happened to be produced by the same producer, and he's like, and we're friends. And he's like, Julie, that line was exactly in the other movie.
Sorry about that. I was literally over there writing something, walked over to a movie, it was around Christmas or sometime, and I turned on the TV and it was one of mine, and I came on, I was like, oh, I remember that. And I'm not kidding you, the line I had just written came on the screen, and I was
oh my God.
Wow, okay. So can't do that, gotta go change that. So yeah, that was a little embarrassing.
I mean, you don't want to do a cliche, right? Like that's the whole goal, is like you don't want your audience to be able to guess what the next line is, especially at the end when they're declaring their love for each other. So I think that's the hardest part, not to sort of repeat and that's actually the hardest part to me, is the very end, when because there's only so many ways to declare your love, and try not to repeat.
Wrap it up and not be super sappy and
but yeah,
overdo it
because we want it to be kind of sappy,
I'm more sentimental, and I think that's the thing with you guys as well. Yeah. We're more sentimental than sappy. If you start getting into, like, when we get notes about that, that seem like they're directing. If not that we get a lot of notes like that, but we kind of move the opposite direction. So I think that might relate back to one of your earlier questions about like how do you kind of keep things fresh. Is like if you don't want to have it be like that full saccharine experience. You want to keep the kind, and I think that probably our experience of having watched old movies and that bantery type of thing, that helps us in that regard.
Yeah,
like that. Have you ever gotten a note like they wanted something changed, but it actually inspired like a whole new like thing for you, and you're like, actually this could work really well, and you like ended up changing a variety of things?
I mean,
yeah.
Because
it happens that way, and it happens the other way, where it unravels the whole sweater, and you have to rebuild from scratch too. I mean, yeah, absolutely.
But you know what? I think that's
like, oh, that's such a good note that I'm mad that I didn't think of it myself.
Yeah, and these guys over there, they know what they're talking about. Like, there doesn't need to be an animosity about, like, it's a collaborative process. So, the main thing, if you're a new writer at Hallmark, you've got to be able to like be okay with like getting a note on something you thought was so brilliant, and you just have to get rid of it. You just have to be okay that
and you have to let it go.
Dead.
Yeah,
you gotta let it go,
and then let it go.
Yeah, but like you can say you can have a moment of silence for the one entire day you spent on that page, and then you gotta let it go, because and then definitely it's great to get a good note, because you know that your script's going to be better, the movie's going to be better, and like it's not. You don't want it to be like people that fight to the death for one line or one note aren't going to last that long.
Yeah, and that's
right.
We learned pretty quickly.
And every script I've ever written, my favorite line in that script gets cut.
Yes,
like almost every time.
100%. Yeah, it's just
my favorite
line. Gone.
Usually it's a little snarky of a joke. I do. I have a list of dialogue that I've had to cut that I love, that I want to use, and I have used it again.
God, you guys are so much better at this than me.
I'm like, in other instances. That's so interesting.
I don't keep the jokes.
I have a whole document called Random Dialogue on my desktop.
Wow.
All right, I'll start doing that.
I don't have that.
Yeah.
My list is of names, just because I'm like, I have used that name.
Yeah, I have a names list, because I meet people and they're like, oh my God, please put my mom's name in, so I'll put it on my list, and eventually.
Oh my gosh, I just told someone that, this is me being Julie, I can't remember who I just told I would name a character.
Yeah, if I don't write it down, I mean, that's what I've learned about myself. If it doesn't get written down immediately, It's
Then
gone.
you
It's gone.
forget.
I don't remember. It was somebody or their kid.
Well, maybe they'll watch
It'll
this
come
and then
to me.
call you.
I will say sometimes the names just repeat so much. You're like, how many times are we going to use that name? And sometimes the movies will come up back to back, and you're like, okay, we need a different name here.
Well,
maybe.
because there's not that many
Jake,
male
Luke.
leads. Jake, yeah, but like a hunky male lead is not going to be Gary, right? So like you can't. So
You
like
don't
there's
know.
not that many.
Don't you insult Gary?
Challenge. There should be a hunky male lead named Gary.
There was the robot in Superman, robot number 4. He wanted to be Gary.
That's right.
Gary.
That's probably where I just saw that.
But
Yeah.
you definitely think of Gary is going to be like the lead's dad. You know, it's like kind of a dad name.
Like
Yeah.
the cool,
Another
like the rugged names like Jake and Sam and
Jake
Nick.
all the time. Everybody's named Jake.
Luke. I've done a couple of Lukes.
Yeah.
I do a lot of
And I was
Ben.
like,
I've got Ben going on right now. Ben and Olivia.
I have a Ben.
Sorry.
I've had Olivia. I can't do Jake's.
Olivia.
I got an ex boy. I don't do any ex boyfriend names ever. I refuse.
I did.
So I don't.
I had in Deck the Walls. I made sure that the B character's love interest, which he'd had a contentious relationship with, his name was like, oh shoot, I think it was Jake Hunter, because that just sounded like the jerkiest name I could. It was just like that kind of thing. But yeah, that it's a technical quality or part of the process is long names will push your page count.
Yeah.
So one of the reasons you typically typically see short names is because, at least with me, and I think
I've literally never thought of this.
I've never thought of that either.
Did you not?
No.
No.
We're all
What do you mean it
I'll
changes the
just take
page
a name
count?
out.
If you go and
I'll
you
take
put,
a name out.
if you
Yeah.
take a Victoria, a Catherine, a Michael, or as opposed to a Cat, a Mike,
Like in the stage directions?
no, in the stage directions, yeah,
Dialogue,
dialogue,
it
but it's
pushes you down a page.
yeah, I know Lee Ranger had written a script where she had a character called Isabella throughout the whole thing. And I was like, go back in. And she was struggling to get the page count in. And I was like, go back in and change it to Izzy. And she saved 2 pages.
What?
That's
Because it pushes down.
It pushes it down.
How we
pushes
never
your
okay,
page
well
count
now
down.
How many times
Yeah.
you
If
had,
you need to pull it up.
yeah. So that's
Cool.
precisely
Alright.
why,
So all the
unless it's
Benjamins will be Ben for sure.
Ben. Mhm.
Yes.
Exactly. Sam's, Samuel becomes Sam or whatever it may be.
Oh
and
my
then
God.
There's a lot
you
of
have-
Scots.
Scots, four letters for a
Yeah.
Scot, and
So no Anastasia.
and you're not going to probably have as many.
Give me Anna.
It becomes A and A.
Yeah.
I've used that. That's my sister's, my niece's name. Yeah, I've used my entire family. Like I'm out of family members.
Oh
at
yeah.
this point.
We've
so-
all done
The
that.
main characters is what I'm talking about. Like for a side character, you can do because you're only going to see them a few times. But if you have your 2 main leads, I typically go for the shorter names as best I can, just because I want to get more page count in there if I can.
My sister-in-law, my brother-in-law got tons of street cred because he started a new job, and I guess his new boss was watching Hallmark, and he literally heard his full name, which is not a common name, and he called him in the next day. He's like, "Is there any reason why your name would have been on a Hallmark movie yesterday?" And he's like, "Yes." He goes,
Actually.
instant cred at work, which I think is so
Street
funny.
cred.
I try to do that after every movie. I try to have one person from
Yes.
Saratoga High School, from my high school.
Oh, from your high
That's
school?
cute.
That is
That's
Yeah.
cute.
One
that
Saratoga
is
High
funny.
School, friend or
Yeah.
You, go
somebody
through
who
your
maybe
yearbook
passed
and,
away.
yeah.
Aw.
I mean, that's the other thing is I love to try to get in names of family friends as well, and I have when you grow up, you have your parents' friends that are kind of like your extended family. So Monty and Joan were Dunham were our one of our extended families, and Joan Dunham loves to watch Hallmark movies. So I made in the magic of Lemon Drops, the characters' parents, I changed the name from the book specifically because I wanted to have Monty and Joan Dunham in there, and I was like, "Did you notice that?" She was like, "I did it,"
And
then
it
she was like,
cleared?
it cleared. Well, they didn't put
because
the
they don't
Down.
always
No,
clear.
we didn't put
Yeah.
Down. We just put
That's
Monty and Joan.
the hard thing. I had a friend in high school, and he passed away, and his name was Greg Mount. And I wanted to name this character after him to honor him soon after he passed away in Destination Wedding. And he, it didn't clear. And so they changed it to Greg DeMount. So
Okay.
everybody was left Greg DeMount. And they were like, Greg would love that because he'd be like, DeMount ya. Like he would love it because he had like dirty humor. So they were like, he would love it. But I was like, no, this was like, it was honoring him. And it became Greg DeMount. It happens.
Interesting change to make. Okay, so one of our favorite questions to ask directors or writers or producers is kind of like, what is something that the audience can, like, what's something that would help us to know that it's your movie? But I want to ask it to you about each other. So, like, how would you know it's a Tracy movie or a Julie movie or a Nina movie? Like, what kind of, like, what part of their personality or something that it's like a trademark?
Oh, I don't know that
It's
the dialogue type.
Fast. It's
It's
fast,
snappy.
but that's all of us. That's why we get
That's-
along. Like we write.
Yeah.
It's
I
just
mean,
different.
it's
I can't explain it. Like we all have fast
Yeah.
banter, but it's like I just
it's
know their voices.
smart.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
very
so-
smart. I
can't,
think
like,
these two
yeah.
are very, very smart. Not to say other writers aren't.
Yeah.
It's not like I go, oh, this is a Julie movie because it's smart. A lot of them are incredibly smart, the ones that we know. I don't know all of them, obviously, but they're just really smart. It's really smart humor.
And I think it's comedy. Like we like comedy. The three of us sort of really like to lean into the comedy more than maybe other writers. Or, you know, what we've been really enjoying being able to do that.
Yeah.
Just
And
fast paced. I can tell.
Yeah.
It's like there will be a line and you'll be like, oh my God, that's so Julie. Or, oh, that's so Tracy. I can see Tracy saying that and not this character.
And I usually there's a reference to a movie or something like that because we all love movies and thing like that'll be woven in. You know, when I did
a reference to an inside joke or something of ours.
Yeah.
So
the Von Trapp one from One Royal Holiday was my gift. Was for Tracy really and to Nina. I had a little Captain Von Trapp joke.
Yeah, and 2 Tickets to Paradise, we had like the whole sort of sobbing over the Sound of Music in the bathroom situation. I was like, Nina, Julie,
2 Tickets to Paradise. We watched that with an
That was
entire
the first
room.
day we ever met.
Oh, really? How did that happen?
Oh, wow.
Tell us your meet cute.
So we already had a podcast going, but we had never met. So
was it at Rama Drama?
Yes.
It was at Rama Drama. Yeah.
So we were there for the live airing of 2 Tickets to Paradise and Ashley.
You had met online, but you
we
just
had
never
met online, had an established podcast. We were invited to Rama Drama. We did some hosting there and covering the event. But that was the first day we met. We went and watched 2 Tickets to Paradise.
I will point out that was patently unfair that I was there and Tracy was not, and she wrote that. And I
Julie was taking her. It was super sweet because she was like taking video of it and sending it to me and having people say hi and that kind of thing. That was very sweet.
Still one of my favorite moments ever in everything that we've done is when the champagne glass got shattered in the middle of the movie when Ryan Baby came on shirtless and somebody dropped their champagne glass. And
that was mostly improvised. I'll be totally honest with you because when we were writing, we didn't think we were still in that transition phase. We're like, can we have a shirtless Ryan Baby?
Not a lot of shirtless.
We were told
happening.
On the shirtless. So when he showed up, I was like, bravo. And then I think Ashley did a lot of riffing in that scene. But it's very good. It's very fun.
Well, and then somebody live dropped their champagne glass while we're all watching. The place went nuts.
Oh, like Rocky Horror.
Live I didn't realize that.
No, well, we're watching. It happened. The whole place went nuts.
Open bar. There was food. Julie, you were there, right?
I was, yep.
It was, everybody was so
Ryan
excited.
Shirtless.
And
then he was never not shirtless ever again. No, he never put a shirt back on. That was it.
He's in a Montana movie at Christmas and it's snowing. Why is he still shirtless? And
in a Model High or something. I'm just like thinking now too, like how early in our path that like nowadays we would have beelined and found you. Like we not even if we hadn't ever talked to you, like you would have been on our list of people to like check in with.
Me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Julie. Yeah,
Oh.
like knowing whoever was there. But we did check in by the end because you wrote the little
The little scene, yeah.
The little scene.
The
And we
improv,
were
yeah.
live during that, and then I sent you the links for
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Yes.
And I'm like, oh,
I
no,
was
we've got that. I
in
can-
full-fledged. I had COVID. I didn't realize it. During
We
that,
all
when
did.
everyone's having the best time, I'm like, this is fantastic. I'm gonna die. Like I just knew I had it. I never felt worse in my life, and I was just sitting there going like, I have to leave. I can't believe this. And then that was like when everybody there got COVID at that event, pretty much.
Pretty
Everybody.
much. Because it was right after, COVID was it was right when you could start doing
it was
things.
still around.
But
Yeah.
you know, but yeah, so I sent you those links. So like, and then, but now I'm just like, oh, we would have like sought you out Friday night instead of like that was Sunday or whatever. It was like we were a little slow on the uptake. But
Busy. We were busy.
we were busy. We hosted a minute.
Okay, so if your friendship was the plot of a Hallmark movie, what would the title be?
Work wives.
Yeah.
Something like that. No,
Oh, that's-
Lady Writer.
Lady
Tribe,
Writer
right?
Lady Writer Tribe.
Lady Writer
Lady
Tribe.
Writer
Yeah.
Tribe.
That's typically what we call ourselves. Yeah.
That's what we call ourselves. That's my
Lady
Lady Writer
ornaments.
Tribe.
I made Christmas ornaments that say that. Remember?
Did,
Okay,
yeah.
that's
I put it on my
fun.
tree
That's
every
fun.
year.
I believe that's now the title of this podcast when it gets published.
Absolutely.
Lady Writer Tribe. Yeah.
Lady-
Lady Writer Tribe.
Lady
Yep.
Writer.
You need them
That's what
like
we are.
on
But I
mugs.
also,
Yep.
I also say they're my work wives.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sarah almost called this podcast Work Wives. So so honestly, so we heard that Tracy has some movies coming up. Do Nina and Julie, do you have movies coming up that we can be looking for that you can't maybe name, but
My movie's called Nothing.
You've got one that you're literally working on Act 7 right now. Like
That's not even. I don't even think that's for 2026. I gotta be honest. So there's no.
But we don't know. Like nobody
Never
knows
know.
anything.
There's
So
no-
yeah,
I'm working on a wedding. It's a wedding adjacent type of movie. That's all I get. That's what I'll say.
yeah. I've got Christmas 2025 that I can't talk about.
Yeah.
Christmas 2026 that I'm working on, and then 2 other regular rom-coms. One's pretty much written. We're just waiting to see if it's getting a green light, and one I just didn't outline, and I'm waiting to get sent to draft. So
Yay.
yeah.
that's exciting. That's exciting. And then I feel like then Julie's gonna have like 4 of them, and we're just
Yes.
gonna be like,
Yeah, that's what
By the end
happened.
of next week, it's going to be
It's it's
what's happening?
it's like like I'm 90% not worried, but then the 10% that is worried is like we'll just randomly spiral into
It's why we
So-
send each other alcohol.
That's when we send each other
Yeah.
alcohol. That's right. Yeah.
that's
I
So
always
if-
say pretty soon we're all going to be so busy that we'll hate our lives again. Like
Yeah.
I want to be so busy that I
Fair.
hate my life again.
Yeah.
Because
That's right.
too much work beats the alternative. And we're so
That's right.
grateful that we're in a position where sometimes we do have too much or we have to turn things down because if
Yeah.
a rewrite or something comes in on a quick turnaround, we just can't do it.
And I feel
So-
that's why I don't even like talking about like if things are sort of slow because like I still have a movie and basically 99.99% of people would love to have just one Hallmark movie.
movie,
And so
right.
we are in such a weird that's why we're in such a weird little like world of our of what we do where
Yeah.
we've been so busy and like so much is going on. So, we always try. That's what I love about these girls is we all try to put stuff in perspective for each other. And like, we are always grateful. And the 3 of us, I know, never want to ride on our ride on our laurels or rest on our laurels. Like we always try to make it, we would never phone in a script and we would never say, oh, we've got this. Like we've always all given it our and I know these girls work so hard and never phone
with
in,
you.
never get
Yep.
lazy. And that's
Yeah.
like amazing because they've done so many and and that's another secret is like, you can't just sort of assume that you're going to get like oh, I'm in and everything's fine and I'm going to get it'll be like this forever. Like you have to keep working as if every script is your last one.
Every script you're proving yourself.
Yeah,
right.
Every single one. And you're only as good as the last script you turned in.
Yeah, right. I think that's actually
so much volume.
Yes, and it's I think sets us apart, and not just us exclusively, but the writers that succeed within this framework is that we really don't take it for granted, and with each project put all of our heart and soul into it, no matter what it's about. It could be like I can't say what I was about ready to say what my project is again. There,
no, Tracy.
Upcoming project that'll be on our screen soon, right?
Yes, it will be this Christmas.
Right.
So
that's exciting. Yeah. Great. I love to hear, and I think you're right. That's probably why you are so successful. Like why we've watched so many of your movies, because you try hard and you're always putting your best into it and giving it your all, and you're not taking it for granted. And I think that comes across.
No, I had a podcast 3-4 years ago. It was a WGA one. And I ended up on the podcast with, and I'm pulling a Dory where I can't remember, but the writer of My Big Fat Greek Wedding, and the writer of Clueless, and another writer who was on a Netflix show, and then there was me, doing the rom-coms. And then they came to the point where, and there was a part of me that was like, I'm just an imposter right here. And then they were like, how many movies do you have that you're working on right now? And they're like, well, I'm working on each one, that sort of thing. I'm like, well, I'm working on 7 right now. Everyone 7? And I'm like, yeah, kind of, that's the thing is like,
and they're like happy if they write like 1 page a day, like feature film.
Yeah,
like I wrote a whole page.
I'm like,
that would be a day where I'm like, oh, I screwed up today.
I'm so
if I'm like, I have to do 15 today, an act and a half. Like that's a normal day for us. But I have a friend who her husband's like a big feature writer, like major blockbuster features, and she's like, oh, if he writes like 3 pages in 1 week, and I'm like, and he got $1 million.
God bless it, but
for those 3 pages, I'm like,
it
wow,
really is a whole different ball game, isn't it?
It is.
So when you're writing, do you set yourselves like, I write from a certain time of day, or I write so many hours a day, or I write so many words? Do you have like little?
Mine's pages. I have a page goal. Yeah. It varies it depends on the deadline, and like I have to. If it's it depends on the deadline. It could be a 15-page day, or it could be a 5-page day. 5 is sort of my like casual.
You have time.
Sometimes these things are on such a quick turnaround, and they'll go, okay, we need this now, and you thought it was done. Okay, we need this now, and we need it by Friday, and today's Wednesday, and here's 3 pages of notes.
Yeah, and you never think you're going to pull it off. You never think you're going to survive it, and then you do it. And like childbirth, I'm never doing that again, and then we do.
And then
there you are.
My worst one was when I got the rewrite. It was for Christmas Town, and I was basically sent to script on Thursday night, and I needed to have almost a full rewrite that I didn't get credited for, but it was due on Sunday, and I was like, I had so many changes that were going on, and I will never do that again, because my body was like, what are you doing?
That is an unreasonable turnaround.
I only made it to act 8, and I had to tell the producer on Sunday night, I'm like, I will do act 9 for you on Monday, but if I don't sleep, I'm going to die.
Yeah.
So, this is...
And we're not like, I'm sorry, we're not spring chickens. I mean,
we're not robots either. Yeah.
No, we're not.
Like there was a time when I worked on sitcoms, and we'd stay till 3 a.m. every night, and I'd still wake up, and have a whole next day, and like get to work, and like the all-nighter thing used to be a lot easier. The older we get, the harder that is, and it's just can't, and it takes longer to recover.
That's it, because it takes longer to recover for me. Like I was just hooked after that one. So
So the answer is it depends.
It depends. It's a lot on the
100%.
It's the deadline. If they tell you you're due in this amount of time, you're like, well, then that's because this is the thing. The train is going.
Right.
So your job is to sometimes you have to be like doing repair work as it's going down the tracks, and that's just the way it is because it's going to get made, and your job is to get the script in the shape enough that if the circumstances arise that you're having to work on it at this late stage. It isn't always like that, but sometimes it is.
I did stuff on the flight to Barcelona for the movie they were starting like that next day. I had to make changes. So like I was, it was like a flight. It was a work flight, but it's okay. Like, listen, I was going to Barcelona. Like it's okay.
You did not get to enjoy that flight. I got a call for the perfect setting on a Thursday. They said it starts prep on Monday, which meant 3 weeks of scouting, casting, all of that. And I had to throughout be like, okay, I just kept a generic fountain. Don't worry about those locations. Like I would be in touch with the ADs and with the director because I was writing as they were trying to prep this movie without a script. And I would say, don't cast this character. That character's gone.
Yeah, that's actually just what happened with this project that cannot be named. Is the producer's like, okay, let us know big changes. I'm like, okay, so we're no longer going to the airport anymore. So this is a new character we have here. We're going to have a rest stop here. And this is over here. And there was a movie I did called Wedding March 4.
Yeah.
And that was another one that was an incredibly quick turnaround. And I was talking with the producer, and I created a character of I think her name was Kelsey, was the groom's sister, who was kind of a pain in the rear end. And I, on the phone with the producer, giving him the description. I have not written her at all. Part of me was just a vague idea of who she would be, but I was like, this is who she is. And they were like, okay, we're casting her. I'm like, well, I guess I'm keeping her now. It's like, she's in. But yeah, you have to I had to do a verbal description on who this character was. And because they were going to start shooting in a week.
I'm not good at writing those.
Sometimes it happens that way.
Yeah.
I'm terrible at writing. Like, can you write a character description for whatever? And I'm like, that's like I'm not good at it. It's just like, it's whoever, it's the character. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I'm just not good at
it. Why do I need to tell you?
Just read it.
Yeah, exactly.
Just read the dialogue.
Yeah.
Figure it out. Is there something that Tracy and Nina that you don't like doing? We know Julie just said she doesn't like writing those character descriptions, but is there like one part of
lines?
What is it?
I mean, here's every time I turn in a script, I have this like delusional writer fantasy that they're going to go, it's perfect.
Yeah.
That's every writer has that. Like, is there something that I don't like to do? I mean, no, there's some things that are more pleasant than others, but if that ever happened, that would be like, it's perfect. No notes.
I kind of suck at stage directions and the stuff you're not going to see. It's just stuff that they read, and it's sort of part of like the reading experience. But I'm not sure how often those things get read anyway. And I'm not very good at that kind of writing. Like any kind of like Tracy has written actual novels with descriptive.
Yeah, sometimes my description is a little novelesque. In fact, that was I think I even referred to that.
And she's really, really good at writing that stuff too. And everyone says, "Oh, are you going to write a book?" I'm like, "Absolutely not. Like, I'll never write a book."
Dialogue.
That's just not what I do.
Come in, and you're like, we are now 5 pages over, and you're like, "Oh," and I'm like, "Let me go back in and cut some of this."
Yeah,
Santa's it. I do a lot of and then he exits.
Like I can't think of words. I'm like, oh, she walks in. Okay, she walks in. I'm not going to describe how she walks in.
I love that, but
she doesn't saunter.
Those moments,
she comes in. She enters.
As a fan, as someone watching, I appreciate the kind of fun door close or that kind of stuff. But don't directors and the actors themselves come up with some of that stuff too while they're on set, depending on what they have there?
Yeah, absolutely. But all of the action, that is the blueprint for the actors and the director for how it plays out. Because sometimes she exits is different from she storms out.
Yeah.
You know, it's very like they're looking at that as the blueprint of what is my point of view in this scene? How do I want to shoot the scene? You know, so that's really what, you know, what we're trying to do is paint the whole canvas.
You have.
Well,
I
exactly,
actually know that you have, because we've actually had discussions about this sort of thing when we'll send each other text messages about like, how do you say this? Because I'm fried. My
I guess
brain is fried
I guess
right
I throw
now.
down a
And then
storms out here.
We'll come back in with
all the time.
this, and we do that with each other all the time because like, yes, that was the one.
Right.
That was when we were like, their eyes
true.
across a crowded room. They lost phases.
There's only so many ways to say their eyes meet. And
they're just sharing a smile.
They share a
You know,
smile.
and like
They
you said,
share a
that
smile.
the actors
They
are great.
share a smile.
And they're going to bring their piece to that.
I say
Well,
that.
that's one of the things that I like to think of it.
I used to just
what
try and
we
change
do
it. And I'm
is
like,
we
screw
create
it. Like,
the framework,
you know what? They share a
that
smile.
if the actor can really get into it, then they'll use that as like to be inspired and you know, make it their own character. And that's
Right. We trust them.
Find the character and find the nuances that they want to play.
Exactly. And that, like with Ashley doing a lot of the ad-libbing in 2 Tickets to Paradise, I actually really liked that because I was like, she's really into the character. She now knows who this character, you know, that my co-writer on that, Kevin Taft, and I, we had worked on this, you know, for so long. And then you send it off and you're like, well, hope that, you know, send it off to college. You're like, hope that does well, you know, and then find that the actors really like it enough to kind of make it their own is actually a compliment.
Yeah.
Right.
And I want them to play.
Yeah.
I want them
Yeah.
to. And I always tell the actors right before,
it's a compliment because you've drawn out
if
such
it doesn't
like
roll off
strong
your
characters
tongue
that they
naturally,
know
I want
who
it
they
to
are.
feel like dialogue you would say.
Mhm.
If it doesn't feel natural, then let's change it.
Yeah.
You don't have to say word for word.
Right. But I have had one time though where the actor was just super, and this person doesn't do Hallmark anymore, so it's okay. I'm not gonna say who it was. It was years and years and years ago, and they just didn't want to learn their lines, so they would just sort of paraphrase everything. So it was all just like the general idea of what the line was supposed to be, but not the actual writing. And I don't, you know, that movie's not good. It's just not like, I just don't think it's a good movie because it's not. It doesn't have.
Yeah. Right. And we do often write with a rhythm and a cadence that we want to, and some of them get it and some of them don't. You just have to accept that.
Wait,
you know, it's
there's
not
a reason. So if they just kind of go,
you intend it, and sometimes
you know, if they just make it up and sort of just blah blah, it's not, doesn't work.
That's fun. Okay, so I feel like I could pick your brain about a million other things, but we've taken so much of your time already. Why don't you tell us your favorite snack while writing? Kind of wrap things up.
Oh, I have one.
Snack.
Yeah.
Busting up the upraising, man. It's just
mine is cheesy. I'll tell you that my cheesy one is not a food snack. Is
Xanax.
Do you
kidding.
remember those international coffees? Those little.
The joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. Hallmark, if you're watching.
I do the Viennese, and I make myself a little mug of Viennese coffee. It really General Foods International, and I know.
But you're a tea drinker. You drink
I am.
coffee?
This is the closest thing to coffee. I mean, I wouldn't even call it coffee. It's like a hot chocolate with a little something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it General Foods International Coffees?
That are very sweet.
I love that.
There's no pure, when I'm in the middle of writing, there's like no purity of my, what's going on here. So I drink a considerable amount of tea, like
It's
so much
chemicals
tea.
that
And
have
then
some cinnamon.
that is usually when I'm wrapping up the script and I need an extra caffeine boost to get me into the later nights, I'll do that. So
I have two. Rolos, chocolate covered caramels. I love a chocolate covered caramel.
I had no idea.
I'm obsessed with Rolos, so I don't often have
Nina?
them in the house because I will eat the whole bag. And Hawaiian chips, like those Hawaiian kettle chips.
I didn't know this.
No, either one of those.
I did not know that.
I do know that we all
I love them.
the sour balls from Disneyland.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I got a little sick of those. I bought like 3 bags last time, and I ate them all. And then
I
was
literally
like,
did
"Ooh,
not
I
know
kind
any
of
of
like
that
sour balled
about you.
out.
We're gonna go ahead.
I'm like, how do we get in on the
We have
Disneyland
like
trip?
we had a sleepover at Tracy's house
Yeah.
when Julie was in town one time.
I love that.
Like, by the way, this friendship
We
is
did.
not,
Drank
this
red
is
wine
real. Like, we
and
went to Disneyland
What's-
together and spent the night
What's
and
the
had
bottle
like a 2.
that we like?
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Bell Glass.
Bella
Bell Glass. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gla-
See, we just ate C's candy and had some red wine. And
Yeah.
oh, Bella Gloss. I don't know. I don't have a snack because I forget to eat. Like, I don't forget. Listen, I'm not a person who forgets to eat. I swear
I
to God, like I love to eat, but like while I'm in that zone, my thing is Fairlife.
It's
I
good.
make
I'll
a
put those
coffee.
shakes
That's
in
sort of like my
coffee
startup.
sometimes, too. It tastes like
is like
it tastes like
a cup of
cocoa. It's really
Fairlife
good.
protein chocolate milk, and then two espressos from the Nespresso together, and that
I do
will
that.
last.
Oh
Like
my
that's
God,
my.
I did not know you did
Do
that.
you?
I
It's
do.
so
I don't do
good.
that.
I have
Yeah,
serious
so
like
good. So
mug
like that's
things
sort of
where
my
I
like
have,
that's my go-to,
I have one
and then
that's
really
an
the
autumn
choice
one
is
and
the
one that's
mug
a
of
Christmas
choice is
one.
sort of
And
important.
then
Like
I
I
feel
only
like
use
I
my
can't.
Christmas
I
mugs
can
for
only
Christmas
drink
movies,
this
and
particular mug for about
Yeah.
3 months out of the year. So
I've got to start. Maybe that'll be more inspiration.
This has been fun. We always love talking and picking your brains about these movies that we all love to watch so much. So thank you, Nina and Julie and Tracy, for
you.
being
Thank
here
you
with
for having
us. Yeah. Do you want to